This is the second video of the template sketch phase 2. We're going to be working with creating some drawings based upon the width and length of this coffee stir stick, which is the material we're going to use to create the bridge. You'll need one of these, you'll need a ruler, and you'll need a pencil. And we're going to get started here. As you can see, I've already went ahead and finished my template there. This is just a stick figure of the bridge in question. Getting to the coffee stir stick there's a couple things you have to realize about the coffee stir stick. First of all, this is as long as they get, okay? You can make them shorter, but you can't make them any longer. So here we got a standard piece of material, and you can see it doesn't even fit halfway through the bridge's span. So what that means is we're probably going to have to divide this span up into 3 sections here. As you can see, 10 centimeters here, another 10 centimeters here, and then a third 10 centimeter section. Now I've chosen these spots here because you see I have several pieces coming down to help support the joint where these 2 pieces will butt together. So that's one thing that we have to consider as designers. The second thing we have to consider is the width. So all these have a certain amount of width here, and these lines just don't describe how wide the material is. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how we're going to arrange the width in relationship to the lines we've drawn on the bridge. So taking a look at the bridge there was one thing that I noticed immediately when I started to do this project, is that this width had to go to the inside of the line on this particular segment. And that's because the bridge must be 30 centimeters long, so it really kind of forced my hand in putting the width of the material inside the line. Really, there's only 3 possibilities. Inside the line, you could center it, or you could put it outside of the line. And so in this case, I chose to put inside the line. Took a look at this bottom segment down here, and I said, yep, that one's gonna have to go to the inside of the line too, because I really don't want any more dimension going downward. So there's 2 of my pieces right there. Now at this point here, I started thinking about the overall pattern. It looked like most of the boundary line would be to the inside of the line. So what do I mean? That would be the inside of the line, that would be the inside, that, and so forth. So let me put a check mark. There's 7 segments there that I would put your coffee stir width to the inside of the line. And I'm gonna check these off. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So those 7 segments, everything is going to go toward the inside of the line. So let me go ahead and work with that. So there's another segment. Notice how I'm drawing my lines from one end of the profile to the other. Now this one here, I'm going to have to draw in a couple of segments. So as I'm doing this here, I want to make sure, and I don't want to put a whole lot of pressure on my pencil lead here, just drawing it lightly. And the reason why is because, see, these will flex if you push too hard. So you don't want to get a crooked line there. So light pencil pressure is about all that you want to put on here, because you can always go back and darken it in once you've established your line. So I'm going to just work my way around to these 7 segments. See how easy that is to bend. So just light pressure only. And see, that one's a little narrow because of that. So let me redo that one. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay. So there's the big 7. We've got those all drawn from edge to edge. Now we're going to go ahead and take care of the rest of these. Now, the rest of these you could do any number of ways, but I thought probably the most efficient way would be to go ahead and center the rest of these. So what do I mean by that? Well, as I take a look here, you can see there's the width of the coffee stir. There's the center line. So it's got half the coffee stir width on either side of the line. So what I'm going to do is arrange this here in this position. I'm going to spread my fingertips apart, and what I'll do when I divide this, when I center the coffee stir stick, I've got to put a line on each side of the coffee stir stick, and I'm using it as a marking gauge to mark exactly how wide the piece needs to be. And so you can see here, I just need to extend these out a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish this up here to extend it all the way to the edge of the profile. All right, so that's a centered coffee stir stick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead center the rest of these here. So the diagonal ones are kind of tricky, and so what you have to do is you just kind of got to line them up, like visualize where this point is and this point, and then go ahead and center the coffee stir stick over those points. Once again, spread your fingertips apart like that, hold the ends of the coffee stir stick, and then you're going to go ahead and draw your lines on either side of the coffee stir. Okay, well, I'm going to stop the video here, and I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these, and then we'll pick back up here in a minute. Okay, we're back here. I went ahead and completed the rest of these lines. You can see they're all centered now, with the exception of the roadway here, and I was going to demonstrate how to do the roadway here because sometimes it's unclear. Now, the roadway is just like the rest of these interior diagonals is what I call these. It's going to be centered as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and demonstrate how to do that. And just go ahead and line this up so that the coffee stir width is split, the width of it's split half above the line and half below the line. And then I'm going to slide this down here. Yeah, you got to move your coffee stir stick. That kind of illustrates the problem with the length that I was talking about earlier, is that these aren't long enough to span the entire distance. So even when we're drawing lines, we have to move the coffee stir down a couple times in order to get the entire length of the bridge. All right, so there's that. That's probably not done too well. Okay, so there we are. We got this pretty well situated here. And so I think at this point here, I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and we're going to go ahead and do phase 3 there, which is to go ahead and take a look at our intersections. And I'll talk more about that in the next video. So be sure to watch the next video.